No, we don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
I think that I'm at no risk of hurting my 22-year streak of not going to the movie theater.
Damn.
I got to look at the script, and he's from Uganda, and there's a love scene with Batman and Robin.
Wow.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Okay, don't hate the boomer conservatives. Don't hate the boomers. They're just boomers. This isn't their thing. It's okay. Let's talk about Superman. An immigrant story, apparently. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka The Real Super Mario. Check out the main channel because the main channel is popping, aka The Loot Box Hero, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here, bringing you another video. Alright, so we have an interesting little topic to talk about today. Just something to hold you over until I finish the Ironheart video, which is coming along. But there's one topic that's been blazing through the internet lately, and that has been Superman. Alright, and I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to see the movie. I'm trying to lock in so I can finish some stuff before I do like free time regular stuff. But from what I'm hearing, it seems to be okay. I watched 2 reviews. One said it was mixed. The other one said it was good. So I'm feeling all right now. But then, of course, the controversy had to come along. Variety dropped an article of an interview from James Gunn. They probably did months ago, but they held that sucker until right now so they can screw up the movie. They probably work for Marvel, you know. So in the article, James Gunn basically says that Superman is an immigrant, and this is an immigrant story, and it is political. And in a way, he's not wrong, because Superman has been an immigrant story for 80 years. Since before any of us were born, he was an immigrant, okay? All right, Superman is a literal alien, okay? He is an illegal citizen of any country on the planet, all right? This is not like freaking, you know what I'm saying, Jose coming across the border, you know what I'm saying, from Guadalajara somewhere. That's not what's happening, okay? This nigga is from space, all right? But, so James Gunn says, I mean, Superman is the story of America, Gunn explained. An immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something that we've lost. Which, I mean, in a way, he's not wrong. People are a lot less kind now than they have been, you know, previously. But yeah, it is an immigrant story. Superman's always been an immigrant story. Now, the thing is, it's not like an illegal immigrant story, okay? This is not like Life is Strange Part 2, where you had like the little Mexican kid with the doctor, with the daggone Professor Xavier powers, punching a hole through the border wall. That's not that kind of story. But that's what people think about when they say, oh, it's a political immigrant story. They don't think about the story of a guy that has immigrated in illegally. He has coalesced with the society. You know what I'm saying? He's just, you know, he's just being a regular American guy. He's not trying to stick out. He's not trying to stand out. He's not trying to change the culture from within. He's just being an American and doing things to help humanity. That's what it is. It's not like an illegal immigrant story. They never once say illegal immigrant, which is the thing that kind of pisses me off, because this is obviously a trap, right? Because if he said it was an illegal immigrant story, okay, yeah, I understand people going after him. But he said it was an immigrant story, though. All right, and the thing is, as a conservative, we like immigrants, okay? Legal immigration is fine. All right, unless you on the far end of the spectrum, then it's a whole different story for you. But legal immigration is fine. It's illegal immigration. That is the problem. All right, and specifically unfettered illegal immigration. Okay, it's different than somebody coming over and they do all the stuff they need to. They learn to speak English. You know what I'm saying? They work in the community. They build themselves up. They become a part of the community. They have kids, and their kids become. That is quintessentially how America works. All right, everybody is technically immigrants. Even the indigenous peoples had to come across on the land bridge. All right, so we're all technically immigrants to America. They fell for the trap. It plays. Oh, they asked them if the movie was going to play differently in red and blue states, which honestly is a dumb question. All right, if Variety comes up to you, if some twink from Variety comes to you and is like, hey, sir, do you think that Donald Trump's butthole is going to pucker when he sees a black person in a movie? If they come up to you and ask you a question like that, you look him dead in the eye and you don't blink and you tell him, sir, the movie is going to be cool. All right, I think everyone's going to like it. Please step away from me. GG. And he walk away. Don't explain anything. It'll scare the crap out of them. They'll never ask you a question again. But I hate when they ask these questions. Why are you trying to jimmy a political answer out of people so that you can have it for this stupid article that's going to cause controversy for the movie? They did the same thing with Avatar. When Avatar was coming out, and it was like, so some jabroni from Netflix went to Variety. It was like, oh yeah, well, we're going to take Sokka's kind of sexist, and we're going to take out the sexist. He's not going to be sexist anymore. And it's like, why are you talking to these people? But they asked him that question, and he says, yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as an offense just because it's about kindness. But screw them. And so again, he didn't say Republicans, he didn't say illegal immigrants, he didn't say MAGA, he didn't say any of these things, even though we know he's a leftist, so that's probably what he's thinking, but he didn't actively say any of it. So if you just let it lie, all right, guess what? You don't get implicated, because if you say, oh, he's talking about immigrants, it makes you look like you don't like immigrants in general. You know, he goes on to say, yes, it's about politics, which you never admit that your story is specifically about politics unless you just want people to think that way. But on another level, it is about morality. Do you never kill no matter what, which is what Superman believes, or do you have some balance as Lois believes? It's really about their relationship and the way different opinions on basic moral beliefs can tear two people apart, which, to be honest, is an interesting story. All right, because, I mean, essentially, moral beliefs is what's tearing the country apart in general. So, yeah, it's political, but I don't think it's political in the way people think it is. All right, and one of the things that this conversation reminded me of was the conversation of, is there room in escapism for political themes or not? And it's actually a pretty interesting question. All right, and the thing is, to answer this question, you have to understand the difference between stories that have political themes and stories that are inherently political. All right, stories that have political themes are just that, political themes. They're themes that are brought into the story, themes or a backdrop or what have you, to add like spice or to add texture to the story, to add some depth to the story. All right, for instance, Superman. Now, everybody knows that Superman is kind of a Boy Scout type of story, but you add in the fact that he's an illegal alien, like a literal alien from another planet, all right, and he has to come in and try to live like humans and balance out the fact that he could totally take over the planet if he wanted to, and he has to not lose himself and become like Mr. Manhattan or become like, you know, crazy like Homelander. He has to balance all these things out. It adds depth to the character and to the story. All right, are these political themes? Most definitely, they are political themes because it's an immigrant in America. It's a political story, but that's not the intent, though. The intent is just to add some depth to the character. Now, an inherently political story, the intent is completely different. You look at something like America Chavez. America Chavez is, if you don't know, is a Latinx lesbian superhero that was introduced in the all new, all different Marvel series, with all these other characters like, you know, Ironheart and Miss Marvel and, you know, all those characters that have been lovely for the last 10 years, you know. And she was introduced as coming from a planet of intergalactic lesbians, because there's always intergalactic lesbians, and she has the power to punch holes through the borders in reality. Which one of these stories is political? Okay, all right. I think it's the one about the Latinx lesbian lady named America. You know, I think that's the political one. You know, and there's a difference between these two types of stories. So in essence, it is okay to have political themes in a story. It just, you know, matters what the intent is. If you intent just to add some depth to your characters, that's fine. All right, but if you intent to like indoctrinate people, or if you intend to beat people over the head with your ideology, then yeah, you just, their story is just being political. All right, you look at anime. Anime have a ton of political themes in them. All right, you know, and we actually like those because they make, you know what I'm saying, they make adult animation cool. All right, so that's why animation is not just for kids anymore. You look at stuff like Attack on Titan. You see all the political themes in Attack on Titan. If you think that just having political themes in general makes your story woke, then most anime is woke, okay? Because a lot of anime have female characters or gay characters or what have you, you know? So just having a female character or a gay character or a black character doesn't necessarily make your story woke, all right? It just means that, okay, your story has political themes to it. It's the intent of that character. Why is that character there? All right, look at Marissa from like Eludian Chronicle. All right, so that character came out, and and people kind of hated this character for like no reason. Like before the game even came out, people was hating on her. They was hating on her hair. They was hating on her design, and it was like they're not trying to be woke. They're just trying to create a fictional world, you know what I'm saying, that has a variety of different people in it. There's a difference between her and like Annette from like Castlevania, where the entire reason this character is black is so they could do this 12 years a slave Haitian revolution story. All right, that's the whole point. All right, that's the whole reason they did that, you know. So yeah, there is a difference between a story that has political themes and a story that is just inherently political. It is okay to have political themes in your escapism. It's also cool to have pure escapist movies. But yeah, so, you know, I said, tell me what you think. Do you think Mario, you just being woke? All right, Superman being an immigrant ain't got nothing to do with it. All this other kind of stuff. Do you think that? Or do you think like it's okay to have some political themes as long as you're not trying to be intentional with them? You know, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, have yourself a good one.